I got a number of comments regarding my complaint about this scene in my video discussing Shadow's character. When I put that video together, I naively thought that my perspective would be shared by everyone and self-explanatory. So I failed to elaborate on why I see it the way I do, and so I got not one, not two, but several people expressing how they viewed it as Shadow saying he respected Sonic enough to not want to fight with him on uneven terms. Look, you may be correct, and that may have been how the writers intended this scene to be taken. As such, I do thank you for your comments enlightening me on your perspective. I wish I could see it the same way, but I don't. I'm not making this video to try to persuade anyone to see it the way I do, but to likewise help you understand my perspective. I decided this would be the better way to do that rather than responding to each comment like a broken record. When we communicate with other people, there is a lot more at play than just what we try to express. Word choice matters, tone of voice matters, body language matters. All of these play a role in conversation. So Shadow's line here is, "I will beat him on equal terms or not at all." The first thing I mentioned is that word choice matters, and in this instance the crucial word to look at is beat. I mentioned in my video that this scene demonstrates his arrogance. This is part of the reasoning for that. It's arrogant of Shadow to believe he will beat Sonic no matter the circumstances, powered up with his Doom powers or not. If Shadow truly respected Sonic, he would not just assume that he would be victorious if they were on equal terms, but rather acknowledge the possibility that Sonic could beat him. In that instance, you could fix this dialogue by changing just one simple word, and that is changing beat to fight. If Shadow said, "I will fight him on equal terms or not at all," that alone already communicates more respect than the original dialogue, and it still makes sense following the previous events. He holds back not just from beating Sonic, but he holds back from fighting him, period. Rouge then swoops in to say she finally finds him and sees Sonic defeating him. Shadow's response saying he'll fight him on equal terms or not at all still fits as a response to her line. The next thing is tone of voice. I actually surprised myself by making it through that entire video without ever bringing up Shadow's voice. I've ranted about this before in a Crossworlds livestream. I know I just had a long rant about how I didn't like Rouge's current voice actress, so I'm not keen to get back in those waters, but I'm not a huge fan of Kirk Thornton's Shadow either. So I'm pretty open about the fact that I do not like Kirk Thornton's Shadow voice. It has gotten better, as it's nowhere near as bad as it was during the Boom era, but it still doesn't fit the character in my opinion. My main problem with his voice is that it's too gruff, and that gruffness gives Shadow an arrogant edge. It doesn't matter what he says, it sounds arrogant. He could say the sun is shining and it would come across as arrogant. I could go around telling people, "Oh yeah, I'm in graduate school right now, working in a research lab, doing inorganic synthesis. It's pretty cool. What do you do?" Or I could go around telling people, "Oh yeah, I'm in graduate school right now, working in a research lab, doing inorganic synthesis. It's pretty cool. What do you do?" The message I'm getting across is completely different. The words are not the problem, it's how they're said. So I reiterate, tone of voice matters. The last piece of the puzzle is body language. You can get a lot just from looking at people's body language when they speak. Here, when Shadow says his line, he turns away from Rouge, closes his eyes, and crosses his arms. He then finishes off his statement by giving Rouge a sharp look. This looks to me like someone coldly getting themselves in a defensive position, as if to say, "How dare you doubt my abilities," and then asserting their greatness with that final look. His turn away also just looks like he can't be bothered by her. It's the same sort of thing he does with Sonic before their confrontation. He says, "You can wait until my business is finished," and walks away. He continues to talk back to Sonic with his back to him. I'm sorry, but that is not the body language of someone who respects the person they're talking to. He clearly can't be bothered to talk to Sonic here, and he doesn't even try to explain or reason with Sonic. But, like I mentioned in my previous video, this version of Sonic likely wouldn't have heard Shadow out anyway, but that gets into the weeds of Sonic's characterization. The final nail in the coffin that makes it so I can't help but see this scene as a demonstration of Shadow's arrogance is Shadow's depiction in recent years. From Sonic Boom to Shadow's story in Forces, to the Tales Tube videos, to his characterization in the IDW comics, Shadow has been regularly depicted as an arrogant jerk. And with relation to Sonic himself, Shadow is constantly shown putting Sonic down and proclaiming himself to be better than him. Combining that knowledge with his dialogue to Rouge then makes it seem like he's saying beating Sonic with his Doom powers wouldn't prove anything, and that he'd rather assert his superiority over Sonic in a fair fight. That is not respect. That is arrogance. So there you have it, my little rant explaining my annoyance with that particular scene from Shadow Generations, that I should have elaborated on in my previous video discussing Shadow. If you still see this scene as Shadow respecting Sonic, then I'm happy for you. Again, that may have been the intention from the writers, so I wish I could see it that way, but I cannot. Let me know if there's anything else I should have elaborated on, or simply say hello. Apparently leaving comments on videos helps the YouTube algorithm or something, I don't know. But anyway, I hope everyone has a great day or night.